Straight ahead on 12 News Weekend, drivers know the commute is rough, but how are businesses coping with the I-494 construction? Plus, a powerful journey through the Deep South. Cooper and Armstrong students get a memorable lesson on civil rights. But first, competition for your cable TV dollar.
Competition is always good, so I think it's a real good opportunity to bring another provider into the market and let the consumer decide.
12 News Weekend starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us on 12 News Weekend. You could soon have another option for cable TV service. CenturyLink wants to be a cable provider in the Northwest Metro, but there are still steps to take before we know the true impact on consumers. When you subscribe to cable in the Northwest Metro, right now you only have one option, Comcast. But that could change because CenturyLink wants to be an option too.
A lot of people are always been looking for a second option. And so if we can make things work with CenturyLink, there's the second option.
The process for that to happen is a long and complicated one. One of the first steps happened Thursday morning, a public hearing where CenturyLink submitted a franchise application and talked to the Northwest Suburbs Cable Commission.
It's a vibrant, healthy market and one that CenturyLink has a great presence in already that we just want to expand and offer more services to our customers.
One of the most asked questions is how many homes will have access to a second service. CenturyLink says to start, they'll offer their Prism TV cable service to 15% of each city.
Speaking for Maple Grove, I'm concerned about how does that 15% lay out as you look at the city as a whole.
Comcast released a statement after today's hearing saying we do business in a competitive environment every day. Any new provider entering the market should be held to existing state and federal requirements in order that competition develops according to which provider can best serve the consumer.
Some people love Comcast. Some people are frustrated with Comcast. Some people don't matter. It doesn't matter to them at all who they have. But it's an opportunity to have a second provider.
The Northwest Suburbs Cable Commission will vote on CenturyLink's application in mid-May. Then both sides will enter negotiations. Subscribers could know whether a second provider is an option sometime this summer. A Los Angeles company wants to call Golden Valley home. BioSig Technologies plans to move its headquarters to the I-394 corridor. BioSig is developing new computer technologies to improve the treatment of abnormal heartbeats. The move to Golden Valley also could lead to new jobs. After this week, you've probably had enough of road construction, but we know gridlock will be sticking around for a while as work continues on both I-494 and Highway 100. But perhaps forgotten in all of the construction is the impact on nearby businesses. Here's reporter Cassie Bonstrom.
When you're in the business of bagels, rush hour is prime time.
Normally the mornings, between like 7 and 10 are normally our busier.
Bruegger's manager Jen Tomsich says traffic jams due to the 494 construction project are causing problems and eating into profits.
We didn't really have anything at all yesterday. It was a lot slower than normal.
A late Sunday night storm delayed MnDOT's work to move all traffic to the northbound lane so they could begin work on the southbound side. That delay meant motorists were stuck using one lane going southbound from I-94 to Highway 55 on Monday morning.
A guest came in and said that it took her from Champlain to Eden Prairie 2.5 hours to get to work on 169 because of 494.
By Tuesday, traffic was better.
It wasn't too bad right now. We were at least moving.
While the project is underway, there will be 2 lanes going southbound for the morning commute. Then a barrier switcher will adjust the lanes midday so there are 2 lanes going northbound in time for the evening rush hour. It's causing drivers to find their own detours.
If I tried to take 494, it would take me an hour to get here.
The plan to fix bridges and add a 3rd lane to 494 has been in the works for months. Still, many found themselves unprepared and are now adjusting, such as Bruegger's, which will be cutting many of their employees' hours.
MnDOT acknowledges the inconvenience and frustration that this project is causing, but says when it is finished, it will be worth it. Reporting in Plymouth, I'm Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
The 494 project is expected to be completed in November of next year. In our weekend review, the Crystal father accused of killing his 10-year-old son made his first court appearance. His next day in court is scheduled next month. Pierre Collins is charged with second-degree murder in the death of his son, Barway. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office plans to seek a grand jury indictment of first-degree murder. Court documents show Collins had 2 life insurance policies for his son, and Collins tried to increase the amount for one of those policies 2 days before his son disappeared. An officer-involved shooting in Robbinsdale has now led to a felony assault charge against the woman who police shot. According to the criminal complaint filed Friday, 18-year-old Tania Harris was involved in an argument with another woman when witnesses say Harris started chasing after her with a large knife. The woman ran behind police, and the complaint says police ordered Harris to drop the knife, but she did not. Harris was shot in the abdomen, and she is expected to recover. No one else was hurt. And the Brooklyn Park City Council approved this week the first market-rate luxury apartment complex in the city in over 20 years. The 610 West project calls for 3 buildings on land near the Target campus. There would be 480 units total, from studios up to 3-bedroom apartments. The complex would also include a courtyard, an indoor pool, and a fitness room. Coming up on 12 News Weekend, a spring break trip that offered Cooper and Armstrong students a powerful history lesson. And then later in sports, student athletes at Osseo and Armstrong sign on to play college sports. But first, a cool down is on its way. On Monday, we may not even reach 50. In Osseo, we have a winner. Get ready for a new logo to be seen in the city and on the city's website. The City Council approved this water tower logo by a unanimous vote. Alino Lakes Graphic Arts Company came up with the design. A local soldier received one remarkable surprise this week. They lined the street in Maple Grove on Wednesday to offer Staff Sergeant Andrew Walker and his family one really big surprise. Walker will receive a new, fully furnished, mortgage-free home. National nonprofit Operation Finally Home is teaming up with the Pulte Group to make the project happen, and they celebrated with a groundbreaking ceremony. Walker served in Afghanistan defusing and removing dangerous explosives from the battlefield. He says he had no idea this was happening. He thought he was just coming for an interview.
This changes everything. We've been in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment for 2 years now. I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much.
Walker was injured in Afghanistan and was awarded a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. Spring break took on a new meaning for a group of African American students from Armstrong and Cooper high schools. They recently returned from a bus trip through the Deep South, where they learned about civil rights. As Eric Nelson found out, it was one powerful journey.
We were marching through the Lincoln Memorial.
They followed the footprints of those who fought for freedom.
There were a few people that kind of just gave us like a mean look, or like, why are they doing this? It's ridiculous how much hate can be generated.
And they got an up-close view at landmarks and monuments.
This one was in one of the museums, just showing how crazy the slave trade was.
That are signatures of the civil rights movement.
Having the first-hand look and being able to touch these things and walk on this ground and to see the surroundings, that's what really touched me.
Spring break for these Armstrong and Cooper students was a chance to sponge up history, and they returned to Minnesota with plenty of mental and physical snapshots.
After the trip, I felt committed. I felt like I'm powerful and I could do anything, and I could speak my truth.
The students are eager to share their civil rights message.
We're just going to import it directly from the card,
which they will do in a couple of documentaries.
There's no use in having knowledge if you're not going to share it with anybody.
Their 10-day journey took them to places such as Memphis, Birmingham, and Selma, cities that were ground zero in the battle to eradicate racism.
I feel like it was an eye-opening because we knew about that stuff, but to sit there and feel it and imagine it, it's a different ballgame.
They try to fight for our rights for the next generation because they don't want us to suffer.
The trip was powerful.
I felt a large sense of honor.
And the painful past fostered a gamut of emotion.
Some parts it did hurt, some parts it did hit me hard, some parts did make me sad, but I felt honored.
In Robbinsdale, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
The 2 documentaries are titled Unapology and Systems of Mass Destruction. The students visited 9 historical cities on the trip. Still ahead, planning ahead for severe weather. We'll have some helpful tips. But first, the Armstrong girls lacrosse team gets started in style. That's coming up in sports with John Jacobson. Time for sports. This week was really exciting, John, for high school seniors.
on their way to college and making their choices official for a handful of athletes this week. Wednesday marked the NCAA Spring National Signing Day for high school athletes who are headed to play college athletics next year. At Osseo High School, 2 seniors signed their letters of intent, Shia Sanders and Sarah Bezdacek. Sanders enjoyed a great prep career for Osseo in volleyball and today signed with Western Illinois. Bezdacek will attend Northern Michigan, earning a scholarship as a Nordic skier. She won the state Nordic title in February. Both girls say they love their experience at Osseo and are looking forward to a new challenge.
Super thrilling, just kind of mind-blowing that I'm leaving Osseo Senior High and that moving on another chapter in my life. It's super exciting. Illinois, I love the state. Western's the right fit for me.
It was a very exciting day, and I'm so glad I could spend it with all my teammates and my coaches who came here to support me. So I'm really excited for the future I have ahead of me and to ski at a collegiate level and continue my academics at Northern Michigan.
Armstrong High School also had a pair of signees this week. Swimmer Rachel Peterson signed with Division I program Wisconsin Green Bay, while basketball standout Sean Burns made his commitment to Minnesota Duluth official. They both talked about their college choices.
I saw the guys compete. I went to a couple games. They played with a high intensity, and the coaching staff was great. They really made me feel at home. And plus, it's a good place to get your education. And they graduate a lot of kids, and they end up getting jobs, right away. So that was a good thing.
Meeting with the coaches and the team, I thought that they would be a really good fit and that I could contribute to the team. And I'm very excited to be on the team and join the Green Bay community.
The Armstrong girls lacrosse team is coming off back-to-back state tournament appearances. The Falcons were at home to play Irondale in their season opener. First half of play, Armstrong's Amy Master weaves her way through the Knights defense, goes up high with the shot here and scores, giving the Falcons a 4-3 lead. Yeah, they'll strike quickly again. This time Master sets up Haley Holdall in front for the shot on goal to make it 5-3, and the Falcons would lead 7-3 at halftime. Second half, Ella Halverson picks up an assist here with a pass to Master. The senior attack netting another goal to make it 9-4 Armstrong. Holdall runs out from the side of the net, reverses in front and scores as Armstrong goes on to win 11-5. The Falcons continue to play well this spring. The Wayzata boys tennis team has built a very good program over the last decade. This spring, the Trojans are taking aim at a 3rd straight state title. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
Wayzata does have some holes to fill, but the Trojans have skill and depth, and they're aiming to be the best team in the state again.
I mean, we got a strong JV and a lot of kids that put a lot of time and effort in tennis, and I really got this thing going. It's been fun the last, 12 years to really build what we have. So yeah, it's fun to have new guys step up and learn how to play at this level.
There's always, a line of guys that are working really hard to come up, and everybody always fills those roles really well, at least as long as I've been here.
Wayzata brings back some of its top players. Nick Beattie won the individual state singles title last year, and he'll play number 1 again for the Trojans. And Steele Kowalchuk returns to anchor number 1 doubles. His partner is senior captain Nick Kasner.
We did lose a lot of guys, but we had the same thing last year, ended up winning state again. So I know with prod and with all the hard work that us returners can bring, we can be successful again.
This weekend, Wayzata travels to Brookfield East High School in Wisconsin for a tournament featuring some of the best high school tennis teams in the Midwest. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
After beating Maple Grove, Wayzata did lose a match this week to Lakeville North. A much-decorated Tutino Grace wrestler earned another big honor as he wrapped up his outstanding high school career. Lance Benick has been named an All-American as the nation's top-ranked prep wrestler at 195 pounds by Intermat. Benick was undefeated for a 2nd straight season and won his 4th straight state championship in Class 2A. Just one wrestler at each weight class was named All-American. Benick will wrestle for Arizona State next season. What a terrific career he had. Had a great year in football last year, too, but now going on to wrestling at Arizona State.
It's good to see him doing well, and
Yes.
he'll enjoy the weather for sure.
I think he
down
will.
there. Thanks, John. In Minnesota history, tornadoes have occurred in every month from March through November, with June being the most active month. Before severe weather strikes, it's important to have a plan in place, and Sonia Goins has tips on how to prepare.
Big
big tornado on the ground.
A tornado is a fast-spinning tube of air that touches both the ground and a cloud above.
A tornado was on the ground 6 miles south of Wilbur.
These twisters can occur at any time.
Right now it's coming down.
The Northwest Metro has seen its fair share of severe weather. This tornado touched down in Plymouth August 8, 2009.
If you're starting to see clouds rotate, tornadoes rotate, and they rotate vertically, if you start seeing that, definitely go take shelter right away.
Hennepin County has a new tool to alert them about severe weather.
We can get reliable up-to-the-minute data of wind speeds, rain, wind direction.
These 30-foot weather sensors are being placed all around the county.
We can warn people properly for life safety.
And when the skies turn dark and the wind starts to blow hard, you want to be prepared by packing a survival kit. Food and water should be the first thing on the list.
Have enough food and water for 72 hours.
Include a blanket, candle, lighter, medical kit, and a whistle so you can alert someone.
Something as simple as a hockey helmet, baseball helmet, even an old pot that you can stick on your head when you're sheltering can really save your life.
A weather radio is also a good investment.
I can turn it on if there's a potential for severe weather to hear any warnings that may come across.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Experts also recommend putting household information on a USB drive and keeping it in your survival kit so it will be easy to locate documents for insurance purposes. Still ahead, a Brooklyn Center volunteer makes the world a little bit more beautiful. What she's doing to help make Brooklyn Center a better place, we'll have that when we come back. And finally, we met some fantastic volunteers this week as part of National Volunteer Appreciation Week. One of them is in Brooklyn Center, where Jill Dalton saw a need and responded in a big way.
This whole thing started out on the Brooklyn Center Bulletin Board Facebook page when somebody was complaining about all the trash that was on Brooklyn Boulevard. And, instead of everybody, ganging up and grousing about it, suddenly, 52 comments later, bam, people were really energized to fix it.
Jill Dalton organized one cleanup on Brooklyn Boulevard that was so successful she organized a second one around part of Shingle Creek. It also wasn't much of a surprise to see that when Jill met us for this interview, she saw trash out there again, grabbed a trash bag, and got right back to work.
You see trash, you just got to clean it up. I'm sure it's because of all the high winds we've had lately. Seems to be a funnel right here for it.
And of course, Jill is not done. There's 2 more trash pickups organized for this weekend and 1 for next weekend. So John, it's definitely the story for that, or the time of year rather, for that kind of thing to happen.
It's always the bad part of spring when you see all the trash, but good for people like Jill.
Good for Jill.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's all the time we have for now. Let's see you next time, everybody.
Have a good weekend.